Hello, Chapter 19 of Theories of Relativity, page 181. A hand on my shoulder wakes me. At first, I think it's Granddad, and I raise my head quickly, but it's Miriam with a tray balanced on one hand. "Merry Christmas," she says. "Merry Christmas," I reply. "You can use your grandfather's washroom to freshen up, and I brought you some breakfast." She sets the tray down on a table. "I'll be back soon." I go into the washroom and find soap and have a wash. A quick look in a drawer reveals a half-used tube of toothpaste. I spend a long time brushing my teeth. It's been a while. Breakfast is scrambled eggs, toast, juice, and milk, but disappointingly no coffee. I wolf the food down, pile the empty plates together, and then I have nothing to do. A poinsettia sits on the windowsill. What idiot would send flowers to an unconscious man? I wander over, pick up the card tucked inside the leaves, and read, "From Myra and Jack." Jack. That would be the man in the store. As I put the card back, I feel vaguely ashamed. Leaning over the Christmas plant, I pull the curtains open a crack and blink at the bright world outside. Snow powders every branch of a tree outside the window and glitters. Diamond brilliant. I leave the curtains open a slit and turn back to the room. In the light from the window, I look at Granddad. Really look at him. His hair is still thick, though white now, rather than the steel gray I remember. It sticks up in places, and I reach out a hand to smooth it. He stirs, and his lips part. I wait, but no words come out. With my forefinger, I touch the thin hand lying on the cotton sheet and feel skin like paper, bones brittle beneath, and remember the weight of a hand on my head. Was that real? His mouth is caved in slightly, and I realize his false teeth are out. I used to see those teeth in a glass by his bedside at the farm. They fascinated and repelled me. An uncomfortable-looking tube runs into his nose. Except for the hair, I can't find the grandfather I remember. Miriam comes in and changes a bag on the intravenous stand. "Are you sure this is Edward Wallace?" I ask. "Of course this is Ed," she replies, surprised. "I've known Ed all my life." She glances at me. "You haven't seen him for a while, and you were just a little kid." "Yeah, I guess that's it," I say. "He probably wouldn't recognize me." "Oh, I don't know," she says. "We recognize the people we love no matter how much they change." She busies herself writing on a chart, but keeps darting tiny glances at me. "What?" I say finally. "I guess you don't know this, but Phil is out at the farm," she says. "He arrived last week, out of the blue." "Sort of like me," I say, though my mind is in turmoil from her words. "Sort of like you." She picks up the breakfast tray. "Well, my shift is over in an hour. If you want to ride out to the farm, I can give you one." I can't say yes or no. Instead, I gesture towards the bed. "Can he hear anything?" She creases her forehead. I've heard of people regaining consciousness and saying that they've been aware of everything that went on around them. It certainly doesn't do any harm to talk to him. I'll be back in an hour. I'm at the top of page 184. I sink into a chair. So my father is at the farm. Dad. I try out the word and don't like it. I might joke about having 3 fathers, but I've never called anyone Dad. I pull the Einstein book from my backpack and wonder how Twitch is doing. He, Amber, and Jenna seem so far away, in a completely different world. I open the book, but that's as far as I get. Miriam said I should talk to my grandfather, but I feel stupid chattering away to myself. My thoughts turn back to my father. Do I want to see him? He has never wanted to see me, so why would I want to see him? But I do. If you stuff them too full, do brains explode? Mine is definitely going to. My head aches dreadfully. I force my mind to the book. At the age of 15, Albert Einstein took an entrance exam to the Swiss Polytechnic, a university attempting to bypass high school. He passed the technical portion but failed the arts exam. Sort of overestimated yourself, didn't you, Einstein? I leaf through the pages and the words black hole catch my eye. Einstein's theory of relativity describes the motions of bodies in strong gravitational fields at or near the speed of light. Though he did not believe in them himself, his work in physics is the basis for theory regarding black holes. It is believed that black holes form from the collapse of stars. The term black hole did not come into being until after Einstein's death in 1955. Imagine an object resting in the vast emptiness of space, totally undetectable, except for its gravitational pull. An object so massive and so densely packed that no matter, communication, or even light can escape its immense gravity. Have you decided if you want to go to the farm? Miriam is back. I haven't decided, but I stand and pick up my backpack. What a beautiful morning, Miriam exclaims as we head out the door. She's right. It is beautiful. It looks like every Christmas card I've ever seen. Blue sky above, clean, unbroken white, stretching before me. Jenna, with her silver hair, would fit in perfectly here. Snow Princess. Miriam and I tramp through the sculpted drifts to her car. She drives carefully over snow-rutted roads. I try hard, but I don't remember the town we passed through, or the road going to the farm. Did you know your mother's parents? I ask. The Murrays? Sure. Oh, sorry. Did you know my mother's parents? I ask. The Murrays? Sure. Do they still live here? Miriam nods. A little ways out the other end of town. I don't know them well. No one does. They keep to themselves. They're, she hesitates, quite religious, evangelical. So my mom wasn't lying about that. We drive in silence for a few minutes, Miriam concentrating on the icy road. The family is delaying Christmas until I get home, she says. The kids will be going crazy wanting to open up their presents, but I told them they had to wait. More silence then. Do you have brothers and sisters? 2 brothers, I say shortly. I don't want to talk about them. Don't want to be reminded how much I miss them. We turn down a second road and Miriam stops at a snow-filled lane, a house attached to the end of it. I'm not going to go down there, I might get stuck. But that's Ed's place, she says. I look down the lane, and it's hard to breathe. I make no move to leave the car. You haven't seen your father for a long time, have you? No. Never. This is silly. Miriam has to get home to her kids, so her kids can rip into their presents. I climb out of the car. Are you going to be okay, she asks. Yeah, I'll be fine. I slam the car door shut. She does a careful U-turn and waves goodbye as she passes. As I watch the car disappear down the lane, I realize I forgot to say thanks. I heft my backpack onto my shoulders and trudge down the lane. Snow crunches beneath my running shoes, and Jack's prediction is correct. It's up to my knees. I glance behind me to see my footprints, the only indication of life in this white world. It's so quiet. It gives me the creeps. Halfway up the lane, I stop. A maple tree used to stand here. I'm so sure that I sweep aside snow with my foot and hit something hard, a stump. It makes me almost cheerful to know that I was right. The house looks smaller than I remember. I'm developing a theory that when you're a kid, everything appears twice as big as it really is. I must warn Micah so he's not devastated when he's older. I climb ice-encrusted porch steps, slip, and grab a railing that wobbles alarmingly. A single rocking chair sits on the front porch, a forlorn sight. It's so silent. I wonder if my father has left, the same way he came into town, without telling anyone. I'll probably leave that way myself. Who is there to say goodbye to? I knock on the door and wait, but no one comes. Dropping my pack on the rocking chair, I go back down the icy steps. As I round the corner to the house, my feet falter, then stop altogether. Memories are everywhere. The yard, the barn, the vegetable garden, the bushes, brown and dead now, but forever green in my mind. This is where the fireflies flitted, and I know that really is my grandfather in the hospital bed. I've come too late. I catch my breath at the sudden pain in my chest. Heart-wrenching. That's a word I read once in a book. I didn't know what it meant at the time, but I do now.